Super Bowl Radio Row has officially reached peak insanity.
It's insane today.
We're almost ready to. Luckily, I have a bodyguard here who's going to get me through the crowds now as the throngs have become massive. And this young man here, Jacob, is going to get me through the week, whatever's left of it, and the parties and all the other stuff.
Yes, he is.
But a guy we had on last year, we talked to him.
You guys were my good luck omen, I think.
Absolutely.
Minus the kidney stones that happened when I left. Other than that, you guys are my good luck omen.
Matt Mitrione, Bellator fighter. He was an NFL player. Great story. Played with the Vikings, so I'll get to that later. With the Giants in the NFL, and that they said, you know what? Screw this NFL pass rushing stuff. I want to get in the ring, and I want to start inflicting punishment on guys like Luigi Curto, who you talked to yesterday and claimed that he was an MMA enthusiast, and he was. He actually did train.
Luigi's the first guy here to actually threaten me. It was like, hey, look, don't squeeze my hand too tight because I'll throw these hands on you. And
yeah,
I was
because
like,
you're 2 weeks away from a big fight.
Yeah, and I was like, well, hey, man, I can't get cut up before a fight. I'm sorry, dude. Like, he was like really aggressive with me yesterday.
But you can cut him. I mean, it'll give him a little more street cred.
Yeah.
I cut myself on purpose before the fight. It shows a little bit more.
Hey, I'll tell you, when we're off air, I'll tell you a story about somebody that did that in a major fight that demanded his purse be at least doubled right before a fight, and they were like, no. And he's like, I'll give you an hour to think about it. If it doesn't happen, this fight won't happen. They're like, well, if you cancel the fight, you're going to get fined and blah, blah. And he's like, don't worry about it. Double my purse and we don't have to worry about it. Then the fight came, or then like an hour came. He's like, did you guys double my purse? Nope. Went to the back, cut himself with a razor blade on his eyebrow. Fight got canceled.
Wow.
Then the difference, the dude that stepped in for the guy who cut himself changed the course of history for MMA. And I'll tell you guys about it when we're off air.
I need to hear
And you know, and the other thing is, Rocky asked to be cut in the original Rocky, right?
Cut me,
Mick. And what happened to Rocky? He made a bunch of bad movies after that, and the rest is history.
Stop knocking Rocky.
I know.
The last time I fought actually had been compared to Rocky II when Apollo Creed and him hit each other at the same time. I fought a Russian legend named Fedor Emelianenko.
Exactly.
And we hit each other at the same time, dropped each other, and then I just happened to get up first and knock him out. But like everybody's like, that was so incredible. Like it was a blend of like Rocky 3 with Ivan Drago, and
4 was Drago.
4 with Ivan Drago, because 3 was Clubber Lang.
Don't ask me. I only saw Rocky 1.
I can't blame you. You did a good choice to stop watching it at that time.
You're right.
But and then Rocky 2 when we hit each other at the same time. It was pretty nuts, man.
Matt Mitrione is fighting again. Last year he was on Radio Row. We hooked him up with product. We gave him the great karma. And now you got your son here with you, Jacob.
Yeah, that's right.
Now he's not in the octagon already, is he?
Oh, he will not be in the octagon. He's a handsome kid. He's got some kind of brains to him. He'll be an academic.
Beautiful. That's a smart move, man.
Good job out of you,
I did
Jacob.
pull him out of school for this experience.
That's okay.
It's a good job at
That's
that.
life experience,
It's a
right?
life experience. You know, this is what I believe. I keep telling people that there's more to learn in the world. So if you need to pull your child out because you're going to travel to a distant land,
Exactly.
or that is worth more than another 2 weeks in school.
See, my perspective, and then my ex-wife, she shared it with me, was that, that I want him to be comfortable in every arena possible, and I don't ever want him to feel like he doesn't belong. So I bring him around anywhere so he can walk up to people,
That's
have
fantastic.
conversations, and be like, hey, look, this is who I am, that's what I'm doing here, for no reason other than the fact that I just want to say hello.
And not only that, but social skills are becoming less and less apparent in the youth of today because they're always doing this.
Do you see that? So I've got 3
Yes.
kids, right? So 12's my oldest, 7's my baby girl. And it's amazing to watch that if they get a little bit of electronics in the morning, it ruins their day. If they get a little bit of electronics in the middle of the day, they won't do anything for the rest of the night. All they want to do is just watch. And I'm like, dude, they get upset with me because I don't let them play games. I don't watch TV. We read, we paint. We do so many things in the house, and that they get upset about it sometimes. But he's so much more social, and he's got an adjustment that other kids haven't seen.
Can you adopt Luigi and try to wean him off of social media?
So I'm dealing with stuff from time to time, but I always
Who doesn't?
Listen to me. I'm probably never going to become a father, but I always say if I ever became a dad, son, daughter, no matter what. I mean, if I had a daughter, I'd be the guy wearing the tutu with my kid in the mall. Like that's who I would be.
You would be.
If I'm the son, if I had a son, I'd be out rolling around in the dirt with him all day long. My kids are not going to be playing on tablets. They're going to be outside playing in the dirt. They're going to be having fun. They're going to be experiencing life outside.
While you're sitting on your phone doing this.
No. I got to go Bluetooth. I go hands-free. No, I'm just saying, though, it's important to do that with your kids, man. It really is, man.
But, it's difficult because no matter how hard you try to shake it, everybody's got some form of an addiction to an electronic of some form.
Yes.
And I am doing my very best to eliminate that,
That is
and
fantastic.
to get rid of it. I do my best to, like, when I'm around them, because I have partial custody, so when I'm around them and have my time with them, I try to leave my phone away, or all we do is play music on it through the
Good job,
Bluetooth,
man.
and we get down on it. Like,
Well,
I
you know,
do my very best.
Doug Peterson did this during
Yes.
the meeting sessions. He had
All of
all
his
the
players put their
players
phones on the
down.
table
Great.
and say, let's sit and talk and look at one another
This is
and
a
communicate
no-phone zone.
and bond.
Love
Yeah.
it.
So
Love
enough
it.
about, because that's
Okay.
one of my pet peeves. And it's been a pet peeve for 10 years. Now it's out of control.
It's bad, man.
But your son, this is the difference. Jacob is not sitting here with an electronic device.
Absolutely
He's not playing video.
I
You know what he's
I
doing?
see people go to restaurants and their kids are sitting there like while they're eating and they're just playing on phones
Yeah,
or
it's not
tablets.
good.
Like,
I know.
What is
are you
Jacob
doing?
holding right now? Jacob, hold it up right now. He's holding hot sauce, bro.
Hot sauce.
We're
He's
doing
trying,
that later.
he's trying to academically figure out how to open this thing of wax,
Because
baby.
it's sealed with
What kind did he
wax
get?
on the top.
What kind did he get?
The
Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is the guy right across
Was
the
it, no,
way.
but was it one of the Reapers or is it the Ghost Pepper? What is it?
I
What
don't
did he
know,
get?
brother. I didn't even
Are you
know
a
there
hot
were different
sauce guy?
ones.
Check it out.
I mean, I can be. I'm not afraid of hot sauce.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's hot.
I didn't know we had
Big
different
Game hot
flavors.
sauce. This is
Is that new flavor?
no, this
It's
one. Well,
a big game
this
sauce.
one's not. This is just a cayenne base. It's not a very big.
All right, so it's not too hot for a young man like
Let's
Jacob.
get on this, baby.
Beautiful. All right, so it's coming up, man. The Bellator Heavyweight World Grand Prix.
Yes, sir.
So there's a series of fights. Some of them have already taken place. Some
Yeah,
are
one of
coming
them
up.
has. Yes,
right.
sir.
The fight between
Chael and
Sonnen
Rampage.
and Rampage Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Rampage Jackson was eliminated. That fight took place at the Forum out in L.A. January 20th, not that long ago. You're coming up next 2 weeks from Friday. So Friday, February 16th at the Mohegan Sun Casino up there in Connecticut, you will be fighting a man that you fought back in 2012, right?
Yes, sir.
Roy Nelson.
Roy's the first guy to legitimately beat me. Hit me with an uppercut, didn't see it coming, and he jumped on top of me, finished the fight. Good for him. That was my 6th fight I've ever had before. I feel like now I am light years ahead of where I was at that time. I've had 11, 12 more fights since then. I feel extremely prepared. And also, like, I feel that Roy hasn't gotten much better. I feel Roy is kind of a gatekeeper guy. That, fighting him is an IQ test. If you're dumb enough to stand directly in front of him and trade off punches, well, then you're probably going to lose. If you fight him like an athlete, then you pass your IQ test, you're going to do just fine.
So you're going to fight him, and this is going to be on what was used to call Spike TV. Now it's the Paramount Network. So
Yes, sir.
you'll watch it live, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. I mentioned it's Friday night from the Mohegan Sun. So this one, folks can watch on TV for free, right? This is not a pay-per-view.
This is a free TV, brother.
That's what it's
the
all-
best
if
way
it's free,
to get
it's
down.
me, baby.
That's
and
right.
you don't even need to get like a hacked Fire Stick or anything.
Nope,
You,
no,
you
sir.
have cable, you can see this. Now, the other fight's going on, so it's Fedor, who you fought, against Frank Mir. So these are like the biggest names in MMA.
These are some huge names, especially in Bellator. And what they kind of did was that they almost made like a super fight tournament, right? Like where there's 3 legitimate heavyweights, then there's 3 light heavyweights, and a bloated middleweight in Chael, who already beat Rampage.
Right.
And so like what they did was like, you know what? Let's put to bed the arguments. Like who's better, the 205 here or the heavyweight there? Let's actually have them fight each other. Let's see what the hell happens when we just put them all and then they strap it on. So let's get in there and see what happens. And that's what they've actually done. And that's why I find this as exciting as it is.
And then eventually, you are the favorite. So for all of our fans who like gambling, which is probably most of them, you are now the sportsbook favorite to win this tournament, the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix.
Yes, sir.
Now, can you bet on yourself? I guess you can, right?
Well,
as long as you don't bet against yourself.
I bet my life, right? Every time I get out there, right? So I can't bet more than that. But I am the betting favorite, and I should be. I'm the best person in this entire tournament. And, I've changed. I'm a better fighter than I ever was before. I'm not doing anything different. I've just kind of grown into my own. I know what I'm doing now. I'm comfortable with it, and I'm ready to go put it on show, brother.
So you fight on February 16th, and Mir and Fedor is on April 28th in Chicago.
Yes, sir.
And then you have the light heavyweight with Ryan Bader and King Mo, and that's in San Jose in May 12th. So this thing's not going to end for a while,
No,
right?
sir. This is a year-long tournament. And
Right.
I'll tell you what, Fedor and Frank Mir is a crazy fight, and I can't wait to watch that to see what goes on because Frank Mir is so good on the ground, but so is Fedor. Fedor is incredible on the ground, but I mean, there's nobody like Frank Mir when it comes down to scrapping on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, these are the biggest names, and obviously guys who have had unbelievable careers.
Yes, sir.
But these aren't guys. The thing about when we see guys boxing until they're in their 40s and 50s, I mean, they still have some talent, and obviously to get in a ring, whether it's boxing or MMA, you're not just doing it just for a quick payday
No,
so
sir.
you can be the fall guy and take a paycheck and take a beating.
Right.
These guys are still fighting, and they're still training hard. Because I remember last year when you were here, you had my man, Herschel Walker helping you train, right?
I did. Dude, how amazing is that individual? Like, he's the ageless wonder, brother. He's like Daryl Green, just absolutely amazing. Does whatever he wants to do.
I don't know what he does, but I want some of it.
It's really
You
push-ups
tell
and sit-ups,
Herschel-
kiddo. That's
you
what he
tell
does.
Herschel
No, but
he
like
can't-
even his
That's
there's
incredible.
not a wrinkle on that man's body.
So, how well do you guys know him? Have you guys ever had a chance to sit down and just chop it up, like not on the radio?
Absolutely,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Dude,
not me.
his story is it's like Forrest Gump. I mean, he's
There's got
the
to
most.
be a movie. If there's going to be a movie about
It's
anybody,
incredible.
it's got to be about Herschel Walker.
He like it's like he like almost aloof just walks into something and it turns into a golden ticket.
Yeah.
And it's like he talks about it so casually,
It's got like the Midas touch.
like the thing about the chicken, right? I mean, it's amazing.
It's
like his,
nuts.
it's incredible.
People doubted him when he was in high school and then went to Georgia. Nobody was doubting how great he was. Then he goes to the NFL, is great. He goes to the USFL, is great. And then when he said, "I want to do MMA," people were like, "Are you kidding me? You're a football player." And then he went out and he got himself, and he's always been in great shape. So he'll never miss a day of sit-ups and push-ups. He's just an amazing physical specimen.
Just
Maybe
incredible.
one of the greatest of all time as far as top 10 athletes who just keep themselves in great shape
Completely
all the
agree.
way to the end. It's
All the
amazing.
way. And he's so casual about it.
Yeah.
Man. Like there's so much humility. And it's not even artificial. It's just genuine, casual humility.
Before
It's
there was
incredible.
Netflix and chill, there was Herschel Walker and chill.
No, I have to
that
say-
man is always chill.
You know, we had Carl Eller on the other day, and there is something about these older players that are so much more humble than I don't want to say everybody because modern day players, but in general.
Because you've gone through it all. You fought the
There's
wars.
nothing left to prove,
You've
brother.
proved everything you need to prove. You're in the Hall of Fame. You're one of the all-time greats.
So were they always humble, or have they
A
become
lot of
humble?
them have. It's individual cases. The guys who aren't humble, you don't hear from anymore.
Well, see, you know, another thing too is like that. So most of the people that Jacob has met have been legends, right? He hasn't met many young guys. I don't really know who they are, to be honest. And so I go through and I meet all these people, and they ask him questions. Like instead of just me talking to him, I'm like, oh hey Jacob, blah blah. Like they're like, hey man, are you playing sports and what's going on? And who's your teacher? Whatever else. And then you remember like. At a time, everybody wanted to know who you were at the time. And then when you retire, you kind of get forgotten about. So then, like, even if you were kind of full of yourself at the time, now, like, it's kind of slowed down where you appreciate the time and you
Good
take the
point,
time
good
to marinate in it.
Yeah.
Like, so that was really cool. And it's been a great experience for him to be like, well, Doug Flutie just asked you who your teacher is. Like, why Doug Flutie doesn't care who your teacher is, but he's cool enough to take the moment to be like, hey,
That's
you know what's
awesome.
going on here.
You know who else doesn't care? The honey badger. He never cares. He,
He
still
never
doesn't
cares.
care.
He never cares.
Even though we haven't heard from him in a long time.
You know what's really wild to me? I met Kyle Turley today. And when I walked up to introduce myself to him, he's like, Matt Mitrione. He's like, I tell you what, it's like, I love watching your fights. And I was like, wow, what a kick in the nuts, you know? Like, Kyle Turley knows who I am.
All right, before we let you go, you play for the Vikings. You play for the Giants. We're in Minnesota. Who do you like? And the Vikings are out, and the fans
Okay, I'm
obviously
not just saying
disappointed.
this because you guys are Philly people. I'm going Philly 31, either 31-24 or 31-17.
31-24 sounds like a good score to me. That sounds about right because
Hey,
I
by the
believe
way,
it's going to be high scoring.
I was going to go for the Vikings. I thought the Vikings were going to get into it, but by the way you guys dismantled them, like you just hung 38 on the number one defense in the game, and then and they couldn't do anything offensively. I mean, you guys, whole game plan wise, were insane. So I can't imagine the Patriots being able to do
Well,
something
I have
more.
nothing to do with it, and neither does Luigi. But
Close, but you're close.
I'll take credit for it because I've been suffering for 65 years as an Eagle fan.
Now my family lives out in Chalfont, so I'm
Oh,
like my
really?
family
Oh,
are
beautiful.
Eagles people.
Wow.
Close to me.
Yeah.
Now, are you
so
going to be? Are you leaving
my
before the
family,
game?
Chalfont family's actually coming out to my fight in Connecticut.
Beautiful.
Yep.
I love Mohegan
Now, when do you
Sun.
fly out of Minneapolis?
Tonight, I'm getting out, getting home, getting to work. I
Ah.
practice tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he's got
Bright
to
and
train.
early.
He's still
I
He's
know.
got to fight in 2 weeks.
That's right.
2 weeks. You don't get sit back and eat chicken wings and watch the. Well, you'll watch the Super Bowl on Sunday.
I will, but I'll practice on Super Bowl Sunday for sure.
Now, will you have chicken wings on Super Bowl Sunday?
You know I will. I'm sponsored by Wingstop, baby.
Okay.
Well, imagine
That's
that.
a good. Now do you have Wingstop on your trunks? And,
Hey,
all over the
oh, I got
Do you have a
Wingstop, buddy.
Do you have a tattoo of Wingstop on you? Even a
I'm not
fake
afraid
one?
to put one on. I'm not afraid to what are those called? Those henna tattoos?
Henna, yeah.
I'm gonna
do it
tattoo
all,
that
man.
joint out if
Do
I
the
get
whole
paid
back
enough.
thing, you know, where you get the whole back done. The
Yeah,
whole
for
back
sure.
that says Wingstop across.
Who was that? Was that Peter McNeely, who like sold the bottom of his shoes. when he got knocked out.
Bernard Hopkins used to sell his back to was it a Golden Palace?
Golden
Casino?
Palace. They must have been paying so much money.
McNeely was right though. He did sell the bottom of his shoes
Of
when
his
he
shoes when he got
knocked
knocked out. Right.
Well, man, it's great to see you again, man. Good
Thanks
luck.
a lot,
I know
man.
you're going to win. And you're going to win this whole thing.
Yes, sir.
And then you're going to come back and say, I remember being on this dumb show 2 years in a row, man.
And you guys were my good luck charm.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's how it goes.
And now,
Minus the kidney stones.
now every time you'll have to come back. Make sure.
I'm
Keep
ready.
the streak alive, man.
Let's do it, brother.
Matt, great to see you, man. Good luck. And
Thank
great
you
to see
very
your
much.
son Jacob here. What a
Thank
great
you.
young man. Look at the beautiful hair, too, man.
Yeah, he's got a head of hair, doesn't he?
He does.
He's quarter Asian, so he's got a little bit in him.
Oh,
Got some
that's
good
a
hair.
good job, man. There's
Not
nothing
bad.
wrong with having a little Asian in it.
Nothing.
Every once in
Nothing
a
wrong
while.
being a little Asian either.
Exactly right. Matt Mitrione, good luck, brother.
Thanks, brother.